So what now? What can you do? We have two guests with us tonight to help answer some of those questions. Activist Tzeporah Berman is in British Columbia and Kehkashan Basu is in Toronto. So Kehkashan, let me start with you. People want to be hopeful, as you heard there, but they're struggling to keep that hope. A poll on our Instagram account that we put up today had 50% hopeful, 50% not so much. So how do you remain optimistic? You have hope in the name of your organization.
Yes, exactly. I named my organization Green Hope Foundation because I knew that we are facing so many challenges all around the world. And if we don't have hope, then we aren't going to be able to do anything to solve these challenges. And particularly in terms of climate change right now, what we are seeing is that it is hitting the global north now, and that is why people are kind of up in arms. But it has been affecting the global south for a very, very long time now. So for us at Green Hope Foundation, we have been working with these communities who've been dealing with the impacts of climate change for decades now. So it's been very important for us to have hope, to help in the mitigation and the adaptation, and really ensure that these communities are able to continually rebuild. And we hope that we're able to take this forward in the global north as well.
I think you've said that it's about resilience for you. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. It is about resilience and understanding that we might not see the results of our actions right away because we have caused a lot of damage to our planet, unfortunately. But I do believe that if we keep at it, if every single stakeholder comes together, then yes, we will be able to win this fight against climate change.
Tzeporah, what do you say to people who say they believe that climate change is real, but they feel that the damage is already done? It's too late. We've squandered all our opportunities to do anything substantive about it.
I think this narrative that we're hearing a lot lately, that it's too late, is an excuse for inaction. And we often hear that narrative from people who stand, or companies that stand to benefit from the status quo, increasingly from fossil fuel companies or industries that don't want to see the change happen. I don't think hope is something that you just have. I think it's something that we create. We create it with a shared sense of purpose with our actions. And anyone who says they exactly know what the future holds, I don't think is being truthful. If there's one thing we know about the world right now, it's unpredictable. And we also know that every action we take, every ton of carbon that we save from going into the atmosphere at this moment in history, it will save lives.
We have a question from one of the folks we were out talking to today. I want to play that for you now.
I think we have to look to big corporations and stop putting the onus on the individuals to make changes.
Kehkashan, what do you say to that?
Well, I believe that every single stakeholder has a responsibility. Of course, the private sector and big corporations have a very, very big role to play, but I don't think it should take away from the role that individuals should play as well, because the IPCC report clearly states that individual actions are just as important. And again, every small action does count and every drop makes an ocean. So if every single individual, no matter which stakeholder group you identify with, including individuals in the private sector, if we are able to come together, then all of those actions, to echo what my fellow panelists said, they add up and we will be able to see change. So I don't think that individual action should just be pushed aside just because big corporations are contributing a lot to climate change.
We heard questions about that too. What can I do in particular? I want to play you another clip.
I'm not an expert, but there are people who should be able to look at this and say, what's the immediate thing that we can do?
Tzeporah, let me bring you in on that as we talk about solutions, because people really are hungry for them. So what recommendations do you have, advice, as people look to get involved in their communities and try to get beyond that question of can I actually do anything that will help? What can they do?
Well, first of all, I think we all do have a responsibility in the climate era to engage, to do everything we can. But the mistake that we've made, especially over the last decade, is thinking that our individual responsibility is just in terms of our lifestyle, that we're consumers instead of citizens, that all we can think about is should we buy this car or that car or ride to work. We do need to make lifestyle changes, but what we really need at this moment in history is systems change. And that's the responsibility of our elected officials. And it's our responsibility to make sure that they know that we care. So I think what the most important thing that people can do is engage, write to your member of parliament, write to your provincial MLA, call them, make sure that they know that this is an important issue to you and that you will support them if they make the hard changes and change our laws and invest in the right kind of renewable energy and electric infrastructure, and that there will be consequences if they don't act.
Kehkashan, Basu, Tzeporah, Berman, thank you both. I'm so glad we could speak.
Thank you.